All right, good morning. Welcome in. How you doing? Let's see here. Let me share some links, get some people in here. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great morning. If you don't mind, say hi. Alrighty. Good morning, Thomas. How you doing, buddy? Hopefully you're having a good day. Can you hear me first off? That's, I guess, the big question. Do we have sound? Sounds good? All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that attachment that I use for my headset, but it doesn't seem to be working very good. Good morning, Dave. How you doing? I was up with Dave and Jamie earlier watching the stars. Then I passed back out for a little bit. So, um, I do have a couple political points I want to touch on this morning. Um, good chance Senator Lindsey Graham's career might be over, hopefully. We can hope, right? It erased my thing. Ain't that some crap? Let me see if it'll let me do it on this one. Theme. Nope, it erased it. Son of a gun, I gotta redo my... Ain't that a pain in the butt? So what's going on this morning, y'all? I figured we'd come out, sit by the little fire here, and just chit-chat as we wake up. I did record a video yesterday making my iced tea, but it turned out like crap, so I've got to redo it. So probably tomorrow I'll be ready for another thing of tea. So we'll set it up for then. Hi, Miss Tiny. Hi, Miss Tiny. So what's going on in your all's woods over there? You came to say hi to him, huh? You came to say hi to him? Yeah. So this just came out yesterday. Apparently, NOAA weather transmitters, the emergency radios, are down until Thursday, tomorrow. So if you rely on a weather radio, make sure you have your phone or some other way of getting an alert to bad weather. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself there. You should always have more than one way of getting information like that to begin with. But yeah, you want to be careful there. We're supposed to be getting some bad weather coming up here, along with yesterday Oklahoma, Missouri, and all of them got hit with some stuff. So oh my. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? Okay, if you guys are saying stuff, I'm not getting it. I have no chat at this point. The last thing I have is Thomas saying good morning to Dave. It didn't go into detail. Let me go back and read. I'll see if I can find the information on it here. Let's see. Where is my browser? Right there. Why? National Weather. Problems receiving NWR broadcast can be due to issues with the transmitter, your receiver, or possibly both. Okay, so there's a lot of transmitters down at the moment. Give me 1 second here to actually get it out. It's just saying that they're down. It doesn't give a reason why. Like the one in Kansas City, Missouri is completely offline. The one in Jamestown's completely offline. So here, I'll put this link in the chat for you guys and gals, and you can check it out if you want. But again, please stay safe. Keep an eye on the sky when you, and just try and make sure you have a secondary way of getting information if you need it. I'm going to post that in Discord too. Oh my. There you go. You got a weather rock, works great. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's white, it's snowing. If it's gone, tornadoes. All right, so here you can see I'm using an old iced tea bottle, but you can clearly see the difference. This is a new Pure Life tea. See how dark it is. This is homemade meadow tea. You can see the difference in lightness. And this is much better for you, in all honesty. Fred here? How come I'm always the last one to see Fred?
Because I don't say much.
Hold on, I must have you turned down.
I've been turned down before.
Better than being turned off, right?
Is there a difference?
It depends on how turned off it is. You get that ultimate turn off, that's a bad day.
I
How
don't
you
know.
doing, Fred?
Sometimes you like it like that.
Thanks for letting me know Fred was there, Thomas.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
too busy
Thanks for
sharing
ratting
notes.
my ass out. I appreciate you.
Gorgeous morning. So I thought we'd come out here and hang out. Dave said, laugh my ass off, Thomas. Thumbs up. Oh, my. So, how far did you make it all the way through Indianapolis last night?
I'm sitting in Carlisle.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's about an hour and 15 minutes from here if I get on the turnpike. Oh, my.
I'm out of hours. I don't even know where I'm freaking going from here, except to bed.
Yeah. No, I don't know what's going on. Something's messed up in this world right now. They say there's a polar shift going on. Not a polar shift, but a magnetic shift.
The bipolar shift.
Well, that's been going on. But the magnetic pole is moving towards Siberia, they say. And it's what's causing all these eruptions and stuff to start happening again, like Etna in Italy. And I guess they're saying that they expect that new volcano that they just found off the coast of California to erupt under the ocean here in the next
Don't
month.
tease me.
So right above San Francisco, off the coast of Washington there. And that's supposed to be a pretty big one, they say. So it should be interesting. Dave said wet and gloomy here and 50 here. Beautiful day coming now. Well, I'm glad to hear you're having a good day coming for Dave. We're going to be wet all weekend again, they're saying. So, yeah. I'm sure I'll find something to get up to, though. This morning we were on Discord talking about stuff going on, and they had some kind of meteor come through their orbit the other day, and it was a big one. They got video streaking across the sky and making shadows and all that kind of stuff. So I shared that on Discord. Well, here, I can share it in here so you guys can go and check it out too. I'll actually go to the YouTube channel that had all that footage that was much better than the Weather Channel's whole 30-second video that didn't show shit. But yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on over in China right now. They're saying that another key Winnie the Pooh ally has been found unalived. Yeah, I'll share it to
Piglet
Discord and in here, Dave.
or Tigger?
What was it? Zoo, I think his name was. XU.
F you. Well, F you too.
It was one of his generals that he somebody took out. They had fish jumping out of water and all kinds of crazy stuff going on over there. So they think it's the end of the world. And they might be right, you know. Who am I to say they're wrong?
You have 0 hours and 22 minutes of remaining drive time.
Yep. Yellowstone's acting up too. They're saying that one could go off here shortly after, especially if that other one off the coast of California goes off. It could set off Yellowstone. They've been saying that Yellowstone's been overdue for a good blow up for a couple 100 years now. Come here, little one.
Didn't it just blow here a while back?
No, Yellowstone hasn't blown in over 600 years.
What was the one that was up in the northwest that blew?
That was Mount St.
Yosemite?
Helens.
No, there was one a couple of years ago. One of the geysers
Oh, the geysers.
blew off.
Steamboat geyser. That one
Was that
just went off
Yosemite?
again. Yeah, that's at Yosemite.
Okay.
But yeah, they said that.
Oh, look, breakfast.
Look at those little ears, though. Aren't they cute? Dave says every day might be the end of the world. Well, we're going to touch on that too, because I really hope Trump gets his ducks in a row here and goes after Graham and Blumenthal for their violation of the Logan Act for going over to Ukraine and things with Zelensky without being sanctioned by Trump. And then Graham comes out, and did you see him praising the attack on Russia after they did that shit the other day? Because, yeah, that puts us as, you know, on the bad side of these discussions now that Trump's trying to put through, and makes it look like we're behind the scenes trying to do other shit to undermine it when we shouldn't be. So I'm hoping that we hear something from the Justice Department about that here soon. But I guess we will have to see what happens. Where'd it go? I hear little shit.
I don't want to hear about it. I want to fucking see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that they're ramping up the deportations again. I'm happy to see that. That started, I mean, that cut back quite a bit there for a little while. And then, then Homan kind of put his foot down, and you're seeing them all over the place. I would love to see Pam Bondi go before the Supreme Court and challenge that law that these guys have rights in our country when they're here illegally. That we don't have rights in other people's countries when we're there illegally. If we go in their country, they throw us to hell in jail, and that's it, or shoot us, or whatever, you know. I think that's what we've got. Some of the dumbest smart people in the world in our country making some of the stupidest rules. Dave said 100%, Fred. Do you want to see some stuff, not hear it? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens, though.
I want my Doge check.
From what I understand, that's gone. I guess Elon came out and called out the this whole new bill thing. I guess he finally got done reading the whole damn thing, which most of our Congress hasn't done, including Marjorie Taylor Greene's come out and said she hasn't even read the damn thing. I'm getting tired of that shit too. Why aren't you guys fucking doing your job? You have all these staffers. Why aren't they reading and telling you what this stuff is? And they're passing stuff, and now they're saying that everything that they saved from Doge is actually gone in this bill because they
Gone where?
spend so much. It's all getting added. There's more money getting added to the deficit through the bill, from what I'm understanding. That's what Elon's saying anyway. I don't see where Elon would have a reason to lie about it.
He ain't my most favorite person in the world right now, so. So fucking smart, should. Anyway.
He needs to focus on his business and not finding baby mamas. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, we need to get common sense back in favor here. Like I said yesterday, we just need to start ripping warning tags off of shit. Let people just learn. The ones who live make it, and the ones who don't, well, sorry for your luck, right? I still love that clip that I don't know, did you see the clip I played of Elizabeth Warren yesterday, Fred?
I don't guess so. Where'd you have it at?
I showed it on the show. I think it was before you jumped on, though.
Probably.
But, yeah, she was sitting there talking to the news, and she's saying, you know, her biggest supporters is Big Pharma. We know this. And she was going on about Kennedy, going after them, about their, you know, they have to actually test and, you know, show that their vaccinations work from now on before they'll let them market them. And Warren was talking to the press saying, pretty soon no one will be able to get vaccines. I'm just like, these companies make billions of dollars a year, and you're saying that just because they have to test and make sure shit works like any other company, that is going to put them out of business? Thomas said, just because you're smart doesn't mean you have common sense. No, I know that too. Book smarts, street smarts, and common sense are three different things.
Where's my bitch this morning? She making my breakfast?
I have no idea. Oh.
I'm just seeing if she's paying attention.
Why are you screaming your head off over there? Did mommy leave you? I guess she did. Hey, Fred, can you hold this down for 1 second? I just got a notification that Mom's got... Oh, no, it's at 2:15. Never mind. I don't have to worry about that right now. I just saw what the time was. She had an alarm set that came up on my calendar, and Dave said Pocahontas is a putz. Oh my God, they're all putzes. They're the only people that have pulled themselves out of poverty or whatever, you know, and got rich. You know, Bernie Sanders went from a homeless guy to worth how much money now? Millions of dollars in Congress. How? That shouldn't. It just doesn't make
Golden knee
sense.
pads. Golden freaking knee pads.
Thomas said she just got out of the rain room and grabbed the bacon, Fred.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. Oh shit, that's the wrong one. If my brain worked some days, it'd be dangerous. Samsung did this new update on my damn phone. I don't like it.
AI?
Well, it has stuff to do with that too, but it used to be when you just pulled from the top, all the notifications came down and you could sort through all of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you swipe down from the right side, it just brings down your functions like your flashlight, internet, all that stuff. And you have to swipe down on the left side in order for it to bring down your notifications for all your stuff. And I'm just like,
Okay,
I'm still
tell you a
trying
little
to get used
secret.
to that. What's
Tell
that?
you a secret. Swipe down either side and then the change between them swipe across.
Oh, check that shit out. Well, thank you for that. I didn't know anything about it. Cool. All right, then. I'm going to pick you up here, and you're going to lay here and stay here. Dave said Sanders is a putz too. Feel the burn. What a moron. I will give him credit. He actually did call out the Democrats the other week. He called his own party out about all the BS and why people don't trust them anymore. But he's part of the reason why they don't trust them too. I'll be honest, I don't trust. Go ahead.
He's quick to tell you he's not a Democrat.
Yeah, he's like, I'm an independent. No, you're an asshole is what you are. Are you happy now? Where's your sibling at? I haven't seen your sibling yet. No, I forgot to. Good morning, Jamie. Jamie says good morning. Thomas said just seen her Only's page. Fred, you missed it. The towel fell off.
Lucky you. Now I'm gonna tell your old lady.
You're gonna get banished to the basement again, Thomas. Oh my. I want to look something up. I saw something interesting. Apparently, they just had a bunch of elections down in South Korea. South Korea elects Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party as president in wake of former leader's impeachment. Apparently, this guy is supposed to be like some kind of big communist. There's a trash truck. Nobody hanging off the back of that one. So the Democrats fall out of favor here and they fall into favor in Korea. Isn't that great? We'll have to just see what happens, huh? Maybe this guy will decide that he wants to rejoin North Korea if he's that big of a communist, right? Good morning, Ruth. How you doing? Would you stop squirming? Just lay down. Alright, I'm putting you down then. Go find Mom. Tiny, where you at? Oh my. No, the neighbor sent me a text message saying, you're up having a campfire early. She said, are you making breakfast yet? Jamie says, kitten, with exclamation point.
Send her 2 or 3.
She'd love to. We've already had that conversation. She said if she was in a position where she was able to have them, she'd take some. And I'd gladly let her have some. Excuse me. Not doing her job, laugh out loud. Yeah, well, she came over. She's over here now. And poor Smoke away from the kitten. He jumped up in a chair, looking around like, what the hell's this? What is that, Smokey? Tiny, come here, honey. Come here, Tiny. There you go. That's what she's wanting, probably. Lay down, let her eat. What the hell was that flop about? Yep, that's exactly what she's trying to do. She wants to eat. So, what? Why are you looking up and yelling at me like that for? I ain't nursing you. You ain't getting them sharp teeth near my nipples. No way. I ain't into that kinky stuff. Know what I mean, Vern? We see cardiology at 8:30. So that would be an hour. Well, no, 2 hours for you. Do your basic math, Chris. You know this. Where's your other baby at, huh? I haven't seen her yet. Oh my. I need to check on Jay. I messaged him last night.
Where's Yeti been?
He's in the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, he had an asthma attack with bronchitis and pneumonia. He almost died. He's been in since, well, he went in the day after I went to the ER, I believe is when I found out he was in. Or maybe even the same night. So that would have been last Wednesday. So, yeah. I just sent him good morning. We'll see how he's feeling this morning. I know he's ready. He wants to go home. He's tired of being in there, which is understandable. He said the food wasn't bad though. Jamie says he was there before me. Okay. Oh my. We're getting old, man. No, I have a feeling me and him had talked about some stuff. He had talked on here about him being at those burn pits and stuff over in the Middle East, and I think that has his lungs all messed up, which makes him susceptible to the pneumonia and lung issues. So same with Chris Ohana on here. I think he has some of the same issues because of that too.
I guess I must have lucked out.
Jamie said, yeah, the effer has pecan pie. Yummy. I like pecan. I have a friend in Tennessee that works on a pecan farm. I tried to buy a couple pounds from him last year, and he said they just didn't have the volume to sell any outright. They had to sell them to their distributor. So, with as moist as it's been this year, they should have a pretty good showing if it stays good. So some interesting, hold on if I can hear what's going on. Dave says, let me pull this up here so I can actually read it. Dave said he's got a lot of buddies from over there dealing with lung issues. Guess I got lucky, knock on wood. Yeah, makes you wonder, with all the PPE and stuff that we have, why did they not have people outfitted to handle that correctly instead of, not the right way, and now you got all these people that have all these health issues. Morning, Mike. Alrighty, let me see here. I'll shoot Mike a message here. How's Eddie doing, Mike? Eddie had hurt himself the other day. Jamie says, because the government wants us dead, they don't care. Well, I can't argue with that fact, I guess. There definitely are some people in our government that are pretty much advocating for that. Morning,
Bigger
Mike.
than the neighborhood.
What's up, Chris? Fred?
What's up,
How you
man?
doing?
Are you a millionaire now? World famous artiste?
Yeah. I'm in the wrong lifetime for that.
Right.
That's in a parallel universe.
Oh, okay.
I got drunk and I got in the wrong parallel universe, apparently.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, that shit happens.
Look at me. Hell, I'm supposed to be rich. I'm just fucking good looking now.
Thomas said someone tossed an old transformer in a burn pit. It was filled with PCBs. Oof, that's not good. You definitely don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Are you quite comfortable, Miss Tiny? I finally got the baby to be quiet. Dave says, feeding the herd but listening.
Yeah.
Let me flip this camera around a second. Let you see this. Yeah, the baby's nursing on my lap, of course.
I got questions.
Yeah, me too.
Not nursing on me.
That's
Nursing
good.
on mom. I'm not into that kinky stuff.
That's not what I heard.
Good to hear.
Oh, and now she gets up. Where are you going? She didn't even get to drink off of you that much. All right, well, here, take her with you. You take her with you. Don't run away from her, you little crackhead. You're like one of them hood moms.
Oh, damn.
Throw something out and throw a sandwich on the porch and lock the door. Oh, man. How's Eddie doing this morning?
He's doing good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. They gave him some anti-inflammatory and some antibiotics, and he was better by the end of that day. Not completely healed or nothing, but he was a lot better.
Yeah. Did they do the 2 shots up in his shoulders to get the antibiotics in his system first?
I don't think they did him in his shoulder, but he sure didn't
That's,
like it when they stuck that thermometer up his butt.
I can imagine.
He wasn't digging that shit.
You should have showed him
No
how
pun
it's done
intended.
first.
You're like, that ain't right, man.
No.
Mike, show him how it's done. He'll be all right.
There's nothing about shoving no thermometer up my cat's butt, that's for sure.
Oh my.
Take one for the team. Show him what you're supposed to do.
One more time?
So take one for the team. Show him how it's done.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's a one-way highway, brother.
Well, just remember when we were all kids, that's how they used to basically get our temperature for all of us when we were younger.
Thank God I don't remember that shit. I'd really have fucking mommy issues. Like, you did what to me?
Now the problem comes when you forget which thermometer was the one that went in the butt and one went for the mouth. Then you hopefully it doesn't taste like shit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a man of experience.
Yeah, I'm good. I haven't had that problem.
Yeah, that'd be one that would stick with you for a while. Yeah.
Make sure that one is labeled good.
It'd be the one with the brown stain on it.
Jamie said morning meds are taken, Skittles is meowing, and now she's laughing at us talking about butt thermometers.
Balls.
It was brown, but my mom said she just stirred her coffee with it. I couldn't understand it.
Oh
She
my.
stirred coffee. She said, "Turn and cough."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I was watching an excerpt from what's it called? 2.5 Men the other day, and it was Charlie was getting his hernia test done,
Huh.
and an acute doctor doing it and stuff.
Is that the
Female.
one where he didn't remember her, or he
Yeah,
remember her? Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny as shit.
and yeah, he's sitting there talking and trying to get her to go out on a date with him and stuff. And she goes, "You don't remember me, do you? We dated while I was in med school, and you stopped taking my calls and started dating my roommate." And next thing you know, he's like, "That's quite a grip."
Huh.
And that grip kept getting tighter and tighter. But yeah. No matter how old I get, I still can't get over. I can't get used to somebody grabbing my my sack and saying turn and cough.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any easier over time.
Least they could do is buy me a drink first.
All right. That's what I said.
Jello shots or something.
The first time I'm going to the first time I have to go get a finger test, I'm taking a rose.
Yeah. I'm taking a bottle of whiskey for me. So I don't punch
Suck all
somebody
the
in the head.
dignity right out if you want it.
Yeah, my. I have people telling me all the time, it's not as bad as what you think. I don't care. I'm still not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Jamie says, ballsack Jamie. So, I heard something interesting about the supposed woman who's supposed to be getting us all to vote Democrat now again. And that is that for someone who says she loves frat guys so much, apparently she's a lesbian.
What's wrong with it? I'm a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian too, but
Me
that's
too.
besides the point. That doesn't mean I want to be a lesbian with her.
It's a pandemic.
But just the way when she was sitting there talking about how she loves frat guys, made me wonder just what kind of way she loves frat guys, because it sounded like the way she was talking, she kind of every which way but loose.
Well,
And
maybe
loose.
why she's a lesbian now, she got run. Shut up, Fred. One train and she's all bitching and complaining.
She decided she wants to go work for the police station with that girl. You remember her? What the hell was her name? It was a policewoman who was screwing the entire squad almost.
Her name would be Great Northern Pacific. Or something to that effect.
Apparently she was doing something right, because they kept doing her. I'm just like, ew.
She don't hold a candle to that girl that did 1,000 guys in 24 hours or whatever.
The one who did 500 anal and then had to have her butthole rebuilt.
Stupid people.
And then she's like,
That's
I
something
wouldn't
to be real
suggest.
proud of. I'll be right back.
All right, bud. Yeah, we live in a degenerate society.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta put these damn things on.
Oh my.
What the fuck?
I have Sunday's thing ready to go. This Sunday's talk is going to be about.
Wait a minute.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Might have to be that. Oh, hold on. I gotta catch up on chat here. Sorry, y'all. Richard went through that with his doctor. Whoa, somebody's breaking up bad. Bruce said he had a kidney stone being removed in. Oh, he has a kidney stone being removed in 2 weeks. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad he's getting it removed, but hopefully it's not too bad. Thomas has never had one. I've heard they are very painful, Ruth. Wishing the best for him. Yes, we all are.
What's that? Kidney stone?
Yeah.
Woo. That's like a damn sand spur in your pee hole.
I bet.
And then get mule kicked in the kidney.
But yeah, this Sunday we're going to talk about absolute faith. So I've already got that all mapped out and ready to go. So Should be a good talk. Jamie says, ouch. Tammy used to get kidney stones all the time. To the point they actually just put a port right directly into her kidney at one point. I was like, yeah, I don't know about all that. But apparently they figured out what was causing them because she doesn't have them anymore that I know of. Oh my. Did we lose Mike?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Have a good day, Mike. Sorry we lost you, bud. But don't get me wrong, we'll have the Sodom and Gomorrah talk here coming up. We have too many preachers who don't preach what they're supposed to be preaching, you know? People need to know the consequences of what their actions are. If they believe in God, at least.
Well, let's see. Rest area or truck stop?
Depends on the truck stop, I guess.
No, I don't need anything at truck stop. Right now, all I need is a damn pillow. My blanket.
You're just tired, huh?
I wore out.
Well, hi, Mr. Casper. How about you? Why'd you do your tail this time? Oh, Mike's yelling at his phone. Yeah, so damned phone and a bunch of exclamation points, so it must have shut off on him. Bruce had tried everything to not have to go deal with it through surgery, but his doctor has determined it's for the best, I guess. Yeah,
Sometimes.
unfortunately, sometimes our body does not cooperate the way we'd like it to. And when that happens, you have to try a different alternative. Well, kind of goes with your name, all about the alternative. Now, did they try the sonogram thing where they take in
Lithotripsy.
the who? That's the medication, and the what you said.
Lithotripsy is when they put you in a whirlpool and use ultrasonic vibrations to try to bust it up.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about then. But yeah, they did that with Tammy. They did what else? The medications to try and get them to dissolve. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for a battery pack here. Aha! The fire pit battery's gonna die, so I want to get it plugged in. Thomas said my father-in-law used to drink a beer and it would pop. Oh my.
I've heard that.
Alrighty, we are charging. He tried the medication, that didn't do anything. Wow. Yeah, then it sounds like this is for the best. Get him in there and get it knocked out, and that way it'll help him with feeling better, hopefully. I know they say certain kinds of teas can create kidney stones.
It's the sugar.
And
Empty. You want me to smile?
of course you gotta smile. Smile and give the finger.
Navy. Have a good day.
Alright, Thomas. Thomas said be right back phone. Bruce said got himself 3 days off just in case because he doesn't do medical procedures well. Yeah, better safe than sorry. I mean, it's not completely invasive, but it's in a spot that could make it difficult to do certain jobs. Hi, Boo. Good
Like
morning.
pimp.
Taking it easy. Right?
I don't know. I hope pimp.
Oh, there was all kinds of drama at the Diddy trial yesterday. See that? They had 2
That whole
escorts
thing is
from.
the.
Go ahead.
Say that whole thing is a farce.
There's something going on there. Jamie says, haha, Fred. And then, damn, Ruth. And then she said, my friend who's an ER nurse said he gets them so bad he's able to pass them after a while, but that's a pain he never wants.
Any man in his right mind don't want that kind of pain.
Yeah. Bruce said at least they are not making him wait this time. Not like that hernia. Yeah, that was crazy how long they made him wait for that hernia surgery. That just blew my mind. That was.
All right, guys. I'm going to go find me somewhere to close my eyes.
Alright, bud. You sleep well, and we'll
Spoke
talk
on
to
you
you
later.
later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for being here, bud. Alrighty. I was good talking to Mike and Fred this morning. I enjoy that. You want to have some fun here? Do y'all want to draw up some AI stuff with me? How long did they make him wait for? It was almost 6 months, wasn't it, Ruth? That they made him wait for Richard's surgery for his hernia. I believe that's what it was. Probably a little bit longer if I remember right. I can't believe I'm out here all alone. Oh, I'm not. I'm not all alone. Here's my Casper. Here's my Casper. He's sleeping on my med bag. Hi, baby. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought that's what I was right about, but yeah, it's sad that I know people up there that have had to wait over a year just to get imaging, um, because they thought they had cancer, and I'm like, that's just ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous. How can you make somebody wait that long with that in the back of their mind? I'd go nuts, you know. Man, that wind is picking up a little bit now. Good morning, Andrea. Welcome in. How you doing, Andrea? Jamie says we all need better health care. Well, the healthcare system could use being revised. The problem is we don't have enough providers in a lot of places. Jay says, morning, still at the hospital. Hopefully I can go home today. All my stuff looks good. I sent back to him. Fingers crossed for him. Good morning, Stefan. Welcome in. How you doing? Oh, nope, wrong button. Dave is back. Welcome back, Mr. Dave. Yeah, unfortunately, there's lots of doctors out there who get into medicine for the money and not because of the wanting to help people, you know? And it causes a conflict of interest down the line because then they don't want to take on certain patients because they don't get paid the same amount. I'm going to screenshot that and send it to him, Jamie. Bruce said, always bugged me that my stepdaughter only wanted to become a pharmacist because she heard how much money they make. Yeah. It's not like the old days where, people do stuff because they want to help people. And that's not true for everyone, of course. We can't generalize all of it. But there are a lot of people that it's all about the money. It's all about the exposure that they're going to get. All about the people that they can meet and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I just did my job whenever I was wherever I was supposed to be working. Good morning, Miss Snow Lion, and welcome in. How you doing? Snow Lion says, "Good morning, y'all. Sending joy from the sun with the sunshine emoji. Sending joy from the Canadian Rockies." I'm sorry to hear that, Andrea. Andrea said, "The nurses taking care of my dad when he was in the hospital didn't need to be nurses. They hate their jobs, you can tell, which reflects on their care they give their patients." And that bugs me. A lot of the women who are doing, well, men and women who are doing nursing right now are only doing it because of the money, because they get that big sign-on bonus because they're low on people. Hi, Miss Boo. Here, Jamie. Here's your boo. They take turns on the med bag. They're too stuck up to lay on the ground, Parma Hospital in Cleveland, in Ohio. I've never heard of it. But yeah, I mean, I've had to deal with both good and bad doctors, nurses, all that, depending on where I'm at. I've told this story before, but we'll get into it again. Where when I first really started having problems with my right knee, and I mean, I could barely walk on it. It was wrapped all the time. The pain was just, I didn't go anywhere. I was putting on weight, which wasn't helping anything. And yeah, we're going to see a guy up at Penn State, and I'm a Penn State fan. I've been a Penn State fan my entire life, and I've never had to use Penn State Hershey Medical Center for anything, medical at that point. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, this is my favorite school, my favorite college. They're going to take good care of me up here. And I get just the craziest shit treatment. The orthopedic really didn't do anything. He sent me for an MRI of my knee, and then said for me to have a Synvisc shot. If you don't know what a Synvisc shot is, a Synvisc is like a steroid shot, lubricant shot that they put into your joint, and it's supposed to help with lubricating it and making it so that it slides nicely. and it's supposed to help take care of pain and stuff. Well, he's not even in there when his assistant gives me the shot. The assistant is somebody who's not even certified, right? She's not an orthopedic yet. And we're sitting there, and my leg's already swelled up as it is, okay? Do you think they drained any of that fluid out of my knee first? No, they didn't drain any fluid out. They did this wonderful thing where they just stabbed and jabbed everything right into my knee at the same time. So all the fluid that was originally there, then they stabbed and jabbed an entire vial of Novocaine mix in to numb it, or try to numb it anyway. And then on top of that, then they decided that they were going to stick the Synvisc shot and jab it. Okay. Welcome back, Thomas. YouTube, this is my opinion from my experience of getting a shot. So you just leave me the hell alone. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. But yeah, so a Synvisc shot, the vial is that long. It's about 3 inches long. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches round vial that is full. Okay. And she just jammed that in where your knee, here, let me show you on here. This part of my knee here where you can actually see an indent now, that was sticking out to here. And that is not an exaggeration at all. And I was in so much pain at that point. I'm just sitting there and I'm kind of in shock because I'm like, what is this about? That makes absolutely no sense. And I was doing okay. I was calming down, was getting under control, and all of a sudden she starts grabbing alcohol swabs. And she's like, I got to get this iodine off. I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, yes, I do. And she starts scrubbing and scrubbing. I mean, she's pushing as hard as she can on my knee. And that was it. I passed out, fell over on the bed, came to, yelled for a trash can, and I lost it. Yeah, that was a wake-up call for me of being more cautious as to who I let work on me. And second off, the next time I went in and I saw this orthopedic again, Dr. Black was his name. He was a white guy named Dr. Black. Kind of ironic, right? But yeah, so I see him again. He comes in and he has a freaking shiner on his eye. Somebody lit him up. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably, it might have been me that lit him up had it been a little bit later and he still hadn't had that black eye. But he comes in and he goes, well, there's nothing else I can do for you. You just need to learn how to live with it. Those are not the words that you're expecting to ever hear come out of a doctor's mouth when you've not done anything. You've not tried anything. You know what I mean? That was the last patient, probably. But yeah, I just thankfully I got very lucky and found my surgeon that I have now, and you know, he's always done right by me. You know, the first words out of his mouth when I met him, and he was looking at my chart after we got there, was, he said, "What the hell was he treating you for?" I said, "I don't know. That's why I'm here to see you." And yeah, we got down to business, and he's done 8 surgeries on me now. 4 on the right knee, 1 on the left knee, on both hips. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and left shoulder's 8. Yeah, so he's worked on me 8 times already, and I have never ever had any complications from him at all. I recommended him for Katie's elbow surgery. That's how much I trust this doctor. And it got to a point where he wanted me to try the Synvis shot again in my knee, in my left knee. This is after I had already had my right knee replaced. I was having issues with the left knee, and he knew my hesitancy. I discussed this openly with him. I'm very open with my doctors about everything. I talk to him about the traumas that I've been through with other doctors, and just because the better they know that stuff, the better they can handle them. It's better to be open and honest with them. That way you don't have something come up that arises that can cause an issue. And he says, "I know that you had a really bad experience with this," he says, "but I want you to trust me," he said. And I let him do it, and it wasn't a bad experience. It didn't help any, but it didn't hurt it either. You know what I mean? Andrea said, "Well, that's crazy. The doctor should never say that. If we have to live with it, what the heck do we need doctors for then?" Well, it used to be that way. But you did just have to live with it most of the time. Bruce said, "Wow, sounds like the doctor I had years ago wouldn't give me a prescription for medication I needed for more than 1 month, so that I had to have an appointment every month." Oh, that was my pain specialist, was that way. Oh yeah, that guy was a peckerhead. Pain management, I get it. I'm on some really heavy medications. Okay. I understand that. So for the first 2-3 years that I'm coming to you, right? I can understand. Bring me in every month, piss test me whenever. Make sure you can trust me. Okay. But after 5 or 6 years of doing this, and I never fail a test, I never miss an appointment, you're still treating me like you can't trust me, we have a problem. Jamie said, "That's effing crazy, dude. You've told me this before, but hearing it again, wow." Bruce says, "I went to a new doctor and gave me all new options. It was a lot better." I'm glad to hear that, Ruth. I believe everything happens for a reason. I really do. So I'm glad that sometimes we just need that reminder that, hey, there are bad doctors out here, and we need to be appreciative when we get a good one. And we also have to realize doctors are human too. They'll make mistakes sometimes. We gotta give them a little bit of grace. Not saying you give them a whole mile, but you can give them a small inch here and there to kind of fine tune things in. if you understand what I'm saying. But here's the biggest thing I'm going to advocate to all of you that are listening. Please listen. Please take this to heart and understand what I'm saying. You are your biggest advocate. You are the person who is going to have to fight for yourself the most. You're the one that's going to have to do the research into what you need to figure out and know what you're talking about when you go into these conversations with your doctors. We went, well, let me see what Thomas said here. Thomas said, wow, and they wonder why many turn to street drugs because they won't help. Yeah, that's what I told him. I told my friend, not my family doctor, but my pain specialist, I said, for what it costs someone to come into this clinic every month, pay out of pocket for a drug test that they have to send away, and for medications, I said, you don't think it's cheaper for them just to go out in the street corner and buy it? That's not good medicine. And Jay said, too many doctors are for the money. I hate the doctors that are dismissive of what you say too. Yeah, that's why when I had my left knee done, it was right after the lockdowns lifted. And they let Lori come up to the room for an hour, right? So she comes up, she contaminates my room for an hour, and then they tell her she has to leave. Good morning, Bree. Welcome in. How you doing? Bree says, I listen to them, then research for what I think is best for me. Yeah, that's good. So, but yeah, they let her come up for an hour. She stays for an hour, and then they make her leave. And I look at the nurse and I said, do you know how stupid that is? And she says, I know. I said, she's already been here and contaminated my room, so if she has it, I'm going to catch it anyway. Right? And so we're sitting there, and I'm just having all kinds of problems. And I'm not getting any answers. I have this new doctor straight out of college, and she will not listen to me. She will not talk to me. Right? She's just coming in. She's looking over my chart, telling the nurses a bunch of stuff, and then leaving. And I'm starting to get so pissed off at this point. I'm always involved in my decision making as to what's going on. I don't care who is doing what. And I was having tachycardia. For those of you who are not familiar with what tachycardia is where your heartbeat starts at one rate as you're laying down, and then when you sit up, it changes just slightly. It'll speed up just a little bit, and then when you stand up, your heart will start racing, and your blood pressure drops, and you can pass out, stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. I've never had this problem in my life. Not happy with it, not liking it, because this has me hung up in the hospital for almost 2 weeks after surgery. Okay, I do not want to be in the hospital 2 weeks after surgery. Not my cup of tea. But I'm just pushing through, trying to get done. I can't leave until I do my physical therapy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there any? I'm hoping that they have some way of helping her with that, because that's not something good. We can't figure out why this is happening. Okay, I might be able to help. I'm not saying I'm going to help, but I'm going to throw some stuff at you here. Okay. So the first thing that they told me when I was talking to, when I finally got to actually sit down and morning, Jay. Jay says I hate the hospital. Don't we all, bud? But we're glad to see you. We're very happy to see you, man. Okay, so the tachycardia. The first reason they told me I was having tachycardia was because when I had my knee surgery, I forgot to stop taking my ibuprofen. They said I bled like crazy in that ER. Yeah, from what I heard, cleaning up after that surgery was a mess. They were not happy with me. So they were saying that what happened was with me losing blood that I had lost, when I would sit up and stand up, all the blood was rushing towards my legs and there wasn't enough to sustain the brain. And they're saying that's what caused the tachycardia. The blood was pumping, trying to get blood to the brain. And there you go. So that was the first thing they told me. Well, after being in there a couple of days and still having the same problem, I start doing some research. I start looking stuff up online, checking, seeing what's going on. And I just typed in causes of tachycardia and hit enter. And what are the two things that pop up right on the front of my screen? The first one says it can be a mixture between anemia and anxiety. And again, we're talking back right after the lockdowns lifted. Nobody's allowed to be at the hospital with me. I'm by myself. I'm a social person. I like to be around people. So yes, I was depressed. I was not in the best frame of mind. And that was back when my iron and my anemia was at its worst. And so Snowline says, I've completely given up on standard medicine because the only treatment they've been pushed on me is medical. Made. Yeah, no. We need to get you down here to the States, Snowline. Get you in with some good doctors. Jay says if I can't go home today, I'll lose my mind. I thought we already lost that, Jay. That's why you hang out with us. But yeah, I hope you get to go home today too. But I'm sure Charlie and Luke, Frito and Luke are all missing you and your kids. I'm sure they're ready for you to be home too. So, but yeah, let me go back to what I was saying here. So anxiety and anemia together can cause tachycardia. Would you have guessed that? Because I sure as hell didn't guess that. And so I started talking to my night nurse, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing some research. I know my iron's really low. I think my iron was like a level 8 at that point. And the lowest is supposed to be like a 20. And I said, I do suffer from, manic depressive issues, right? I said, is there any chance that they might be able to put me on something for the anxiety and do an iron transfusion? I said, I think that would help. That doctor, I have to calm myself down before I say something I don't want to. about the nice graduate doctor that would not listen to me. Jamie says I'm at the VA parking lot just watching people now. That could be interesting. But yeah, we go the entire rest of the week. She doesn't talk to me, doesn't explain anything to me, and just walks out every time she's done talking to the nurses. And finally Saturday comes around and I get a different doctor. And this doctor actually comes in and talks and listens, and whole conversation with him that I couldn't have with the other doctor, explaining, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I think is causing it from my research. What do you think? And yeah, they took in. They're like, well, let me do some blood work just to make sure that your numbers are where you think they are, and then we'll go from there. And so they drew more blood, went down, did the whole test, brought it back up. He came running into my room. I mean, literally running into my room, and he said, "You're right." He said that might be the problem. I'm getting it set up that you're going to get your transfusion, and we're going to put you on anxiety medicine. Now, had the doctor, the female doctor, little Miss Snooty graduate doctor that makes me have to, do the animal thing, right? Had she listened to me 3 days prior, I would have been home by then. But because she didn't listen, even as much as I advocated trying to get her to listen, I ended up in there and costing, taxpayers money for nothing. I went home 2 days after they did the iron transfusion and put me on the anxiety medicine. That was it. Simple. So again, and I will help you as much as I can if I am able to. If you're having an issue and you don't know how to look it up, you don't know where to even start to search for stuff, please call me, message me. Okay? And I will work through things with y'all. Yeah, I hope it helps, Andrea. I really do. But yeah, it just blew my mind that I had a doctor who would not listen for nothing, and that's the first time. That's the first time I've had one in a long time that was that bad. Nobody wants to go to the doctor and be treated like shit. Jamie says, "Holy crap! People are driving like it's a racetrack in the garage." Are they doing the Tokyo Drift stuff or what? Get out there and show them how to do it, Jamie. But yeah, I mean, I live close enough to the VA here in Lebanon Valley that I would have no problems at all. If somebody calls me and says, hey, I have to go to the VA, I'm not comfortable, I don't know what to ask, would you come along? Or even to any doctor's appointment for that matter, if somebody needs help. I don't have a problem with that. Just call and let me know ahead of time so I know. So, oof, that's not good, Jamie. Hopefully security can get them under control. Jamie said some are actually almost hitting people. Andrea says, I feel like it's almost no use going to the doctor anymore. And that's sad. We shouldn't feel that way. We really shouldn't. We should all feel comfortable going to the doctors and asking questions and having conversations with them and getting things fixed. That's not something that should be an issue. Jamie says, I have that pulmonary wedge pressure in my heart, so I kind of need to go. Yeah, you definitely need to go get checked out and make sure that, hopefully it's not something that has to be surgically repaired, but if so, hopefully you're in the best hands that you can find, Jamie, and they'll take care of you. Snow says, for over 12 years, I was trying to find out what was wrong with me and why I felt like I was literally dying. Doctors told me it was all in my head. Well, now it's in my it is my pancreatic cancer. 1/2 has metastasized to my skull. That breaks my heart. Sorry. Andrea said, that makes me so mad, Snow Lion. That's what is wrong with the medical field. They don't listen. Told Jamie a story the other day about my grandma. She was upset, I think, about a memory of something that happened between her and her mom. If I have it remember correctly, Jamie, please correct me if I'm wrong. Where she thought she had overreacted. And I told her, I said, Mom overreacted once. My mom. When it came to my grandmother. We knew she had cancer, we just didn't know how bad it was. And right before Christmas, my mom took my grandmother to go shopping. We had this beautiful 1980s not the Buick Regal, Chrysler LeBaron, 2-door, had a 318 motor in it, just an overall gorgeous car. Ran like a top. I love that car. And Mom took my grandma shopping, and I get a phone call from my mom, and she's just losing it. And here, when my grandmother went to get out of the car, the cancer had gotten into her femur bone so bad that it just snapped right in half. And that devastated my mom. Yeah, Mom ended up giving that car away for free. She wanted nothing to do with it after that happened. And I get it, I do. Snow says Canada is a lousy place for healthcare unless one is diagnosed with pregnancy, which, as we all know, generally tends to resolve itself one way or the other in about 9 months. Yeah. Or they push for something else. I don't know. Maybe they don't do it as much up there. Yeah, my. Please just pray for each other. Be there to listen to each other. I know we're not a huge community, and I kind of like it that way in a way. I like the close-knitness. We all talk to each other. We know each other. But well, there's more to that story, Jamie, than what you got. But I'll explain it later. That story's not for on here right now. I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point, but there was other stuff going on. So yeah, I like it being an intimate group here where we can talk and we know what's going on with each other and we care about each other. I don't want to get into a big group where we all drift apart and nobody talks. So sorry. Got a little mushy there at the end. If there's one thing I'm good at talking about, it's death. I've seen a lot of it over the years. A lot. So my phone's always open. You can always call me if you need to talk about it. And hopefully you'll come out on the other side feeling a little bit better or with more understanding of something. Bruce said this is what kind of is missing for a lot of other YouTube chats. Yeah, other YouTubers are doing it to become famous. They want the money. And I'm not worrying about all that. I don't. Any money that would get made from this would go directly into the foundation. And I'm doing this because I want to help people. I want to make people's lives better. I know it sounds cliche. Speak of the devil, there she is. Good morning, Mother. But, I did say something yesterday in the afternoon chat about if you guys want to do fireworks. Since we have a lot of veterans in here that don't do well with the loud noises, I had offered that if you want, we can do a donation thing to buy fireworks, and we'll set them off here for you. That way, the veterans can control the volume on their side so it's not as loud, but they still get to enjoy the fireworks with us. I want to get some. I'm going to try and get some anyway. Bree says maybe sometimes use cast iron to cook with. Might add a little iron. I search for natural alternatives to medicine. What vitamin is good for what? Get the food it's in or a supplement or gummy. Yes, Bree. We actually I use cast iron quite a bit here. I've been trying to get away from using aluminum. Aluminum is bad for your brain. So just throwing that out there. Bruce said too many of them have an idea that it's for talking only to the host and not to each other as well. They think it's only for asking questions about the topic. Well, here it's for whatever you want to talk about, honestly. Hell, if you guys just want to make fun of me for 2 hours straight, that's fine too. We can do that sometime. I have thick skin, we're good. You know what I mean? Oh my. But I have been approached again about trying to set up getting together sometime, getting people in the group to come together and hang out. Again, that would be something that's going to have to happen next year. We don't have enough time set up this year to get it done. I would absolutely love to host a week over a historical holiday like the Battle of Gettysburg. We could go over to Gettysburg for the reenactments. There's a lot of good stuff here that we could do. So yeah, we could. So if you're interested in that, let me know. So, but yeah, Jamie had a cop next to her. He drove next to him so he wouldn't see the tags. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I've been too mushy today. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. What? I went to unpin the message, not retract it. Dadgummit. Let me put it back up there before we go anywhere. There we go. I hope you all have a great day. We might do something this afternoon since it's supposed to be nice. I'll let you know. If you're subscribed, I will put a notification on the yeah. What the hell is it called? Hold on, I gotta go look. I'll make a post on YouTube for y'all that are there, so you know what we're doing. I might do a small walk and talk. We'll see what Mom's doing. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, and yes, pray for each other, please. It's the least we can do. And all. So yeah, have a great day, everybody. Love yous. See you later. Peace. We're out.